Hey, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John. It's time for another installment of News It or Lose It. Some unfortunate news to share today, and that's that Aaron Carter, the former child star, has passed away at age 34. It was almost his 35th birthday that was coming up. It would have been December 7th, and now November 5th, 2022. TMZ obtained a 911 call where it seems like a neighbor had reported, or else someone had reported, that a man had drowned either in the tub or in his backyard somewhere, whether it be the hot tub or the pool. And there had been discussion in recent weeks that possibly Aaron Carter had given up his sobriety, had relapsed, and he had claimed multiple times to have been sober for several years, but a lot of people had kind of debated on whether or not that was true. He's done some interesting things in recent years, and I know that he can be low-hanging fruit, an easy target, and even I found myself being like, Aaron, why are you getting face tattoos? Why are you starting an OnlyFans? All of these other endeavors. And then, I guess, even before his passing, long before that, in fact, I guess I found myself wondering, why are we not shifting the conversation more to the abuse that he alleges that he suffered during his childhood, and all of these other things, just the pressures of being a child star? I mean, let me paint the picture for you guys. Aaron Carter was like on top of the world. I remember how I was introduced to him, and I believe it was like on Nickelodeon. I know that he had a pretty strong connection with them. And I remember probably 2001, 2002, probably around 9 or 10 years old for me, I got a CD for free in a cereal box. I believe it was a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And I can't remember if it came with like the full album or some of the singles, but I know it was around the O Aaron era. And I got that song, and I ended up learning like every single word to that song. And it's weird because I kind of didn't ever really have an Aaron Carter phase or a boy band phase or anything like that. But I loved a few of his songs, like that, How I Beat Shaq, even outside of his typical audience, because you can look at Aaron Carter and say, oh, he was a byproduct of the late 90s. I mean, he was only famous because of his brother Nick Carter being in the Backstreet Boys. And if we know anything about the late 90s, early 2000s culture, it's that boy bands were everywhere, with like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys being the golden duo competing against each other, and then Aaron Carter would tour with the Backstreet Boys, and he was heavily associated. But getting back to what I was saying about the pressures there, I feel like it's so easy to go after the face tats, to go after the antics that he's been caught doing. He's been caught with drugs in the past. He went on the doctor's TV show and talked about all of these insane amounts of pills that he was taking, and he's been in and out of rehab tons of times, like dozens of times. And it's easy to give up on somebody like Aaron Carter, and unfortunately, I feel like he kind of gave up on himself, and maybe that happened a long time ago. But there were passions that were still there. I had checked out some of his more recent music, and a lot of it was not bad. I think that some of it could be labeled as cringe, easily, but there was also an underlying effort that showed that he was passionate about the things that he did. It's just that he never fully, at least to a lot of people, got out of that box of being child star, because in those days he was known for being the cute innocent kid who rapped and sang and did all the cool stuff for the kids. And then when you age out of Nickelodeon and your target demo, they want nothing to do with you anymore. So you find yourself rebelling, acting out, not really knowing what to do. And I have a lot of sympathy for Aaron. I did before he passed, and I do now. It's a wild ride, and you really could look at it and be like, yeah, this is just too much for me. I don't know what's going on here, but clearly this family's fucked up. I'm checking out. But I hate knowing that Aaron Carter went through so much in his life, and I feel like not too many people took it seriously. I mean, he was in several abusive relationships from what I recall. I recall restraining orders having to be filed, a lot of other stuff. It's a life to be mourned that was lost. Not even 35 years old. I mean, my wife, her first ever crush was Aaron Carter. Her first concert was Aaron Carter. And it's just a very sad thing to look back on, to know that he couldn't get the help that he needed, or even if he was getting that help, it just seems like it couldn't ever fix whatever was going on in here. And there were a lot of things that Aaron did that I didn't agree with or that I didn't find to be right. But does it justify the action? No. But do I understand some of where he was coming from? Absolutely. And I think that we could all stand to have a little bit more sympathy. Well, I guess the best way for me to begin is the other day. I was hanging with some friends, going around the room, talking about a favorite noise. Said I had a brother in the Backstreet Boys. Then everyone screamed, "Hey, is this some kind of trick?" "Yeah, which one is it?" "The blonde one, Nick." Then the cutest girl said, "I have to see the show. I have no tickets, Aaron. How can I go?" "Your wish is my command. You see, it's no problem, hon. In fact, I'll get some tickets here for everyone. All I gotta do is just pick up the celly. And it's a done deal. Let me call Nick and tell him. By the way, Aaron, if you could while you're at it, could you hook up some seats for my friends and my parents?" Yeah, I said to myself, well, heck, why not? No one can beat the connection I got.